My name is Lawrence Kozlowski, and I am the Cultural Commissioner for the Polish Falcons of America. And we welcome you to our Cultural Digital Workshop on the celebration of St. John's Eve. St. John's Eve in Polish folklore is a very hallowed time. It falls in the middle of summer. It celebrates the time when the earth shows forth the longest day and shortest night. It's accompanied by all sorts of music and singing and dancing and very special rituals, with each region of Poland having its own way to celebrate St. John's Eve. But there are some elements, no matter where you are or how you celebrate it, that are the same. The elements of water and fire, both symbols of purification. It's a night when all those young, unmarried young men and young women get together and celebrate in hopes of finding a mate, someone that they may marry in the coming year after a lengthy courtship. One of the very interesting things that occurs during St. John's Eve is the creation of wreaths. Wreaths in all cultures are symbolic of eternity, for the circle is without beginning or without end. We think of wedding rings. We think of wreaths that are put on our homes at Christmas time or Yuletide, all with wishes of long life and eternity, just like that circle, that wreath, without beginning and without end. Now, these special wreaths were originally fashioned by young maidens at the celebration. And what they would do is they would collect all sorts of very, very special herbs and flowers that were incorporated to create this wreath. Once this wreath was created, it would be then taken and put onto the waters with a lighted candle. The candle would illuminate the wreath as it would float down the stream or out into the river or out into whatever body of water was there. Young men would eagerly wait along the shores, hoping that they could capture the wreath of their intended sweetheart, who may or may not marry them in the coming year. As I said, wreaths are also a symbol of virginity. In many marriage customs in many, many different countries, wreaths are part of the wedding ceremony itself. Sometimes the bride wearing a crown on her head of special flowers, all symbolic, with each color having a special symbol too, as well as the makeup of the wreath. The wreath usually has lots of evergreens in it. It has lots of other special herbs and magical plants to give protection to the person who has woven the wreath, and also to the young man who will catch the wreath. What we're going to do today is show you just how to make one of these traditional wreaths, but in not so a traditional way. A way that you can make this wreath for your centerpiece in the summer, a summer picnic, a wedding, a shower, whatever it is you wish to convey your pride in your Polish heritage, just as they did many, many, many years ago in those villages and countrysides of Poland. Originally, these wreaths were made and woven out of plant materials themselves, and then they were placed onto some cross pieces of wood that would allow them to float upon the water. What we've done is we've updated this little custom of the wreath, and we're hoping that you can begin by just picking up some things at one of your neighborhood stores. A dollar store would be a fine place to start to do something to make a very inexpensive but yet very, very, very authentic wreath. We start out with a styrofoam base, any size you like. The larger the base, the larger the wreath would be. We ask also that it have a center to it. You don't want a wreath form that just has a circular fashion, but you want to make sure you have something in the center. We're going to need some things, and what we need is this styrofoam base. We need a candle, and you can either use a real candle or you can use an electronic candle. In both ways, they still convene the meaning of that special night, the longest day and shortest night. Some flowers. You can use fresh flowers if you like, that you've taken from your garden. They work just as well as artificial flowers, but of course, the fresh flowers have limited time to be used as your centerpiece. We also are going to take a mason jar, which is going to protect your candle from the wind. And we also have a pair of pliers. We have a knife, and we have some assorted flower bouquets, which are silk, which will look just as nice as real ones. We start by taking off the lid of our jar, removing it, and we're going to put this right into the center of that styrofoam base, and we're going to just give it a couple knocks with our pliers. That gives us the center of the particular wreath that we're going to make. We first start out with taking and placing greens. We're going to make sure that we take the greens and put them all around the base. They're going to be really what we're going to build on to as we add the different flowers. Some of the different greens that would be put in here would be myrtle, because myrtle during summer and winter remains green. So we want the eternity, that eternal message that the myrtle is to be part of the wreath. We have bielitsa, which is mugwort, and that is a weed-like plant actually that grows in the forests and in the woods. And it actually is known folklorically to repel witches. Keeps witches away this evening, because witches are known to fly all over the earth this way this particular night. Once we have our greens in, and it doesn't look like too much right now, but what we're going to do now is we're going to take and we're going to add daisies. Now, of course, the colors of different daisies and different flowers that are used all have different meanings. Of course, a white flower, as you see here, offers the wishes of purity, the red of love, the pink of sincerity. And these particular flowers, these daisies, in any nationality, in any ethnic background, they have that age-old rhyme that went with it. She loves me not. She loves me not. Those are just symbolic of how these things began to be part of the culture. Second, what we're going to do is we're going to begin to take and place these flowers around our wreath. We'll make sure that they are throughout the whole of the wreath. And we also want to make sure that we space them out. You can use as many or as few flowers as you like. And to be quite honest, this is the perfect way to celebrate your heritage at a summer barbecue, a family reunion, or even a wedding, to have them actually make the wreaths themselves, to be part of the centerpieces that they have, and also to be part of the celebration of what St. John's Eve is, as a celebration of love and peace and family, which is what we're going to have as you have people gathered together to celebrate. As you can see, this goes rather quickly once you have everything cut. And it's pretty inexpensive, but what's more importantly is that everyone is doing it themselves. All these colors have different meanings, so they're symbolic. This wreath has a very special symbolism to it. Baby's breath. Baby's breath is often used in any type of arrangement where you want good wishes and good luck to be abounding. In a bride's bouquet, in a wreath such as this. It's believed that when you use baby's breath, the wishes will multiply as many times as there are the little flowers that make the baby's breath the baby's breath. So you see, we're going to go and put around and fill in any of the gaps inside of our wreath with our baby's breath. There we have a finished wreath. Okay. Next, we take and we put our mason jar in, which is going to protect the candle that we have from the wind. And as they would say in Poland, once the wreath has been completed, it can be set either on the table or in the stream or in your swimming pool and let it float. They would take a match or a lighter, they would light up the candle, and they would say, Zapalami, light up the wreath, and place it into the center of the jar. And there you have a wreath for St. John's Eve, but also a show of your Polish culture for a barbecue, a party, a gathering, or just a fun time for your kids to get together and create their own wreath to celebrate the feast and the festival of fire and water on St. John's Eve and throughout the whole summer. So remember, Zapalami.